Please, I introduce now Bernd Kasper and the DeFi trial. Keep your questions in mind for afterwards.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alessandra. And it is indeed my pleasure to present the DeFi trial, a phase 3 trial of Nirogacestat for progressing desmoid tumor patients. So when talking about desmoid tumors, we are talking about a rare disease, which is of course important in that context. Desmoid tumors are locally aggressive and invasive soft tissue tumors that are actually challenging to manage due to their variable presentation, their unpredictable clinical course, and the lack of currently FDA or other health authority approved therapies. So treatment clearly should be individualized, and it's not only important to optimize the local tumor control, but it's even more important to improve the symptom burden, and that can include pain, that can include physical function, and overall quality of life. There is a clear mechanistic role for the use of gamma secretase inhibitors in this disease, as desmoid tumors highly express Notch, which of course can be blocked by gamma secretase inhibitors. So Nirogacestat is an investigational oral selective small molecule gamma secretase inhibitor that already has shown evidence of anti-tumor activity in phase 1 and 2 trials in desmoid tumors with a manageable safety profile. And here is actually the trial summary of this global randomized double-blind placebo-controlled phase 3 trial comparing the efficacy, safety, and tolerability of Nirogacestat in adult patients with resist progressing desmoid tumors. 142 patients were randomized across 37 sites in North America and Europe. It was a 1-to-1 randomization, Nirogacestat against placebo, with the option of an open label extension with Nirogacestat, also for the placebo patients in the case of radiographic progressive disease. The primary endpoint was progression-free survival, and secondary endpoints, and even more importantly, included objective response rate, patient-reported outcomes such as pain, symptom burden, physical role functioning, and quality of life. And here are the results. Nirogacestat achieved the primary endpoint of an improved progression-free survival, demonstrating a statistically significant 71% reduction in the risk of disease progression as compared with placebo. So the median estimated progression-free survival for placebo was 15.1 months and was not reached for Nirogacestat due to the low number of events. And as you can see, the curves separated very early, and the separation remained between the two groups over time. The confirmed objective response rate by blinded independent central review, which was done throughout the whole trial, was 41% for Nirogacestat compared to 8% for placebo, again highly statistically significant, including 7% complete responses in the Nirogacestat arm. The median time to response was 5.6 months with Nirogacestat compared to 11.1 months with placebo. And as already mentioned, we have invested a lot of efforts in looking at patient-reported outcomes using a variety of different patient-reported outcome tools. And this is just one example that Nirogacestat significantly reduced the pain severity compared with placebo using the brief pain inventory scale. But Nirogacestat also demonstrated statistically significant improvements in all other secondary endpoints in terms of patient-reported outcomes. In terms of safety, Nirogacestat was overall well tolerated, with 95% of all treatment-emergent adverse events being grade 1 or 2, and the onset of these events in most participants occurred very early during cycle 1. The most frequent adverse events were diarrhea, nausea, fatigue, hypophosphatemia, and rash. And there were 42% dose reductions in the Nirogacestat arm, primarily due to diarrhea, stomatitis, and rash. The duration of the study drug exposure, by the way, was almost doubled in the Nirogacestat arm compared to the placebo arm. So in summary, DeFi represents the largest and most rigorous and robust randomized controlled trial conducted to date in this disease. And it is also the first randomized controlled trial to demonstrate any clinical benefit with a gamma secretase inhibitor in any indication. Nirogacestat demonstrated rapid, sustained and statistically significant improvements in all primary and secondary efficacy endpoints, 71% reduction in the risk of disease progression, objective response rate of 41%, and statistically significant and clinically meaningful improvements in pain, disease-specific symptom burden, physical role functioning, and overall quality of life. It has a manageable safety profile with 95% of all treatment-emergent events being grade 1 or 2, and Nirogacestat does have the potential to become the standard of care for patients with desmoid tumors requiring systemic treatment. Thank you very much.
Thank you.